Let's see how far Joe Rogan has fallen off.
Finally, the time has come. The comedy event of the year finally arrived. It's been 6 long years since we got a brand new hour of material from comedy's most valiant defender, the great and powerful Joe Rogan. Every era of comedy has its greats, guys. And you may not like it, but Joe is inarguably one of the greats
That's what he looked like when I started.
now. He is the biggest and most successful comic on Earth, and the valiant leader of the highly endangered
That was the
250
Stelius,
comics.
days.
In case you don't know what I'm talking about and have had your head planted firmly in the sand for the past 6 years, there are only 250 comics left in the entire world.
Because there's so few of us. And worldwide, we were talking about this the other day. There's maybe 500 of us on the planet. You know, you got to be real generous and say 500 because it's really probably about 250.
Whoa.
Right.
Like legit comics, guys you want to hang out with, guys who are fun.
Please say you want to hang out with me. And the future looks grim for the
I could have said
250,
Please.
sadly.
Wait,
Only a
you
couple
wanna
years
hang out
ago,
with
there
me?
were still 2,000 of them, which isn't a lot, but still. They're dwindling fast,
Well, to be fair, improv troops are a little bit different.
suffering many, many casualties. But Joe's doing his best to protect them, which is admirable, considering he's the greatest stand-up comedian of our time. As you can see, he's earned his spot amongst heroes like Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, Bill Hicks, all these guys. And maybe you disagree, but we have no objective way to measure the quality of a comic other than by their revenue.
I have what you call fuck you money.
So this multimillionaire is by far the best
for him.
of the best. My parents had George Carlin and Richard Pryor. My grandparents had acts like the Marx Brothers, Red Skelton, and Al Jolson. And we are truly blessed because we get to exist on this planet at the same time as guys like Andrew Schultz.
Now that right there was a seamless transition into an ad if I've ever seen one before. Flawless perfection, and you deserve it, but so does betonline.ag.
Bert Kreischer. Tony Hinchcliffe.
Hello, I'm Tony Hinchcliffe. Come check out Kill Tony tonight. Watch me do magical stuff like this.
I would dog like a motherfucking dog. Everybody knows that you need a hug. What's up, bitch? I'm a motherfucking lobster.
Nailed it.
And of course, their comedy father, who keeps them all well fed like little birdies in a nest. Joe Rogan. Thank him. This thing was shot in San Antonio, Texas,
Joe Rogan. Thank him.
where those few brave warriors once defended the Alamo in that big battle. It's a lot like the 250 defenders of comedy. Against all odds, they prevailed. And thank Christ they did, because otherwise we would never have been blessed with this wonderful comedy special, Burn the Boats. Now it's been 6 years since our man Joe released a stand-up special. The last one was back in 2018. Strange Times, which again is definitely one of the greats, as you can see here on this wall that you can find inside Joe's Comedy Club. The Comedy Mothership. It's been so long. It's hard to believe he took 6 years to write an hour of comedy, but you know Joe. He has to get in there and hammer away at these jokes, finely honed like Damascus steel.
I'm always interested in the writing process.
Yeah, why? What is yours? You just go, right? Like,
I can type, so I don't have to look at the keys, which is nice.
Oh, wow.
I don't type great, but I type okay.
Enough.
As you're writing each individual word, you're pausing in time.
yeah.
And you're in a time lapse. And you get to consider each and every possible way you would say something from that word while you're writing that word.
Yeah.
And there's a physical task of doing that with your keys and your fingers that makes you concentrate.
Yes.
Because it fires up your synapses and makes you think that you're doing this with your fingers. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
You can't just shit out a bunch of jokes and expect them to be any good.
Yeah.
That is the brain of somebody that has been punched in the head too many times. That's just like, this is a profound thought.
Joe is a man of quality, so 6 years it is.
Somebody please shoot me!
It took Michelangelo 4 years to complete the painting of the Sistine Chapel ceiling. And it's pretty good, I guess, but imagine if he had spent
Sounds like someone who has had a serious stroke trying to explain something.
2 more
Just woke up. What's even happening? Oh, we're watching, we're breaking down Joe Rogan's latest special and how he crafted it.
years on it. Imagine how much better it could be.
Like the elephant
Guys,
graveyard.
I've said it before and I'll say it again because nobody ever seems to fucking listen to me, but quality takes time. Like
Quality
dry-aged
takes time.
ribeyes or a dram of that wonderful Lafroig whiskey. If you have a triple-digit IQ, you'll be able to wait patiently, knowing that despite the difficulty in waiting, the results will be worthwhile in the end. Now, a lot has happened in the life of Joe Rogan over the past 6 years. It's been arguably the most dramatic 6 years of his life. Since 2019, he has found himself in some hot water many, many times.
Troubling
Joe Rogan has specials now. He's had specials.
video sparking
Actually, arguably, he had 2 good specials.
the uproar went viral over the weekend, and we should warn you, it's difficult to watch.
And to help cope with the adversity he's had to face, he's redesigned his entire personality, becoming a brand new guy, which is commendable.
Oh, Texas went red, bitch! There you go. See, now that's
But with this new guy that he's become, he's also attracted millions and millions of new fans thanks to his wonderful podcast. And apparently, despite it being Joe's justification for existing, a lot of these people aren't even aware that Joe does stand-up comedy. In the lead-up to this special, Joe shared a few promotional posts advertising the event, and a lot of the commenters, the haters, I should say, well, they had a lot to say about the quality of Joe's comedy act. And many of the rest were just confused why this guy was suddenly doing a stand-up special out of nowhere, which is pretty interesting. You hate to see it, but maybe it's just because he's been away so long. Maybe they just forgot. I mean, we haven't seen Michael Jordan dunk a basketball in over 20 years.
That's depressing.
And even with him, it's easy to forget how
Oh
good
my
he was.
God.
So I can understand forgetting how funny our king really is, but that's no excuse to be rude. I'm afraid some of this animosity was getting to Joe, who admits he is so fragile that he can't even watch his own specials, which isn't exactly a great way to improve your routine, but what do I know? He looked incredibly nervous and without confidence as he promoted this thing on his podcast leading up to it.
Okay. I have to announce, because Netflix is making me announce this, that I have a Netflix special that's live Saturday night from San Antonio.
Oh,
So it's going to be live all over the world.
I've seen your set. It's really funny.
It's tight now. It's good. It's like, I'm very happy with it.
How long has it been since you dropped the special?
I like stand up without all the yelling and
6
screaming.
years.
Yep.
Wait, dude, seriously?
Yeah, I was ready to do one in August of 2020. Then I just started changing a lot of bits and moving stuff around. And I'm like, I don't want to do one right now.
But not everyone was negative about it. Some comedy fans were thrilled and chomping at the bit to be part of a wonderful live comedy experience from the comfort of their very own homes. Thank you, Netflix, for all you've done for comedy.
I've prepared for this probably more than anything I have, maybe in my life, but definitely in recent memory. I've been going at it hard.
Okay, well, sounds like Joe is ready, and I am too, so let's prepare to laugh. Take notes, liberals. Wow, and there he is, wearing a very beautiful, delicate, flowing mustard blouse. He looks gorgeous.
He looks gorgeous. He's wearing that sweat stains.
Ah, and there's the stool. God, that's exciting to see. I hope he utilizes that stool tonight. He has to, right? Chekhov's stool.
Check off stool.
I've been living here for 4 years. I fucking love it.
We all know what Joe Rogan likes to do with stools.
I love it here.
I mean,
Okay, well, right off the bat, he's still,
you guys don't
he
know.
does
then
seem a little nervous still, and he's screaming at the
Yeah.
top of his lungs.
I want to sell kayaks.
Now, I'm not sure if he's confused or what, but he's shouting full blast the same
Hot pockets.
way he does when he's doing commentary for UFC events, when he's surrounded by an arena full of thousands of screaming fans.
Man, another guy that he made millions based on one joke. Hot pockets.
Maybe he's been doing too much UFC,
Fucking Burt Kreischer making the La Machine.
not enough stand-up, and his wires got all bungled up there, and he forgot which gig he was at.
Never moving. The only adjustment I've ever
Oh,
had
wait,
to make
okay, there he goes.
is Texas weed.
Suddenly it all clicked,
Jim
and he
Gaffigan,
remembered
yeah.
this is a comedy show. The audience is quiet, and there's no need to shout the whole time. Great.
Texas weed is different.
Yeah, that's better. Good job, Joe. You can do it. You got this.
That's better.
Texas weed is grown on Texas soil.
Now, almost right off the bat,
Oh my
Joe
god, he just literally did the thing where he's just like, hey man, tone it down.
goes into
The audience is nowhere near your level.
tackling the topic of weed. Now, weed, if you don't know, is a serious crime in Texas, the land of the free. If you get caught with that stuff, they literally lock you up in a prison with scary criminal murder guys.
scary criminal murder guys.
mutilators, violators, all those types. But lucky for Joe, he
I
got
like
around
how he
the
talks about him like my mom talked about my action figures. Hey, go get your scary criminal murder guys and your superhero guys. We're going out.
issue
You can only bring 2 with you though.
by simply becoming friends with their wheelchair governor guy called Greg.
Oh,
What a lucky
never realized he was actually in a wheelchair.
guy. So there's some advice for my fellow partakers down in Texas. Just get in with this guy, jiggle his flaccid dangler, and you'll get the green light to
Jiggle his
bun to your
flaccid
heart's content. It's actually really easy. So Joe is sticking to his tried and true handful of topics. He mentioned weed. And here he gets onto the topic of aliens again, one of Joe's favorite subjects.
I'm very invested
I miss Joe being the handyman on news radio, getting told, go back to your van.
in the
Yep.
aliens being real. If
Such a good show.
they're not, I'm gonna feel so fucking stupid.
Yeah, Joe is definitely going to feel real stupid if aliens are proven to be fake. Say what you want about Joe, but when he's proven wrong, even though he might feel a bit dumb, he takes it in stride and learns from his mistake.
He takes it in stride.
But the State of the Union was not live. And
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes.
No, did you see that they found out that it wasn't?
Here we
Someone zoomed in on his watch, and his watch was the wrong time.
Whoa.
How could that even be?
I don't know what they knew. How do you know what they knew? You get a feed. You know?
I don't think all the Republicans would agree to it, too.
Who
'Cause they're
knows
all
what
there.
they knew? They're all there live while
Yeah.
he's doing it? Let's see.
I don't see anything. State of the Union wasn't live. I added watch.
It could be some troll shit.
See anything about
They
that.
got me.
Yeah.
Look at Biden's watch, incorrect time, State of the Union. Yeah, there it is. A fake image. They got me, these sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches.
It's amazing how much stuff is fake. It's just like that stuff. Like, who's doing that stuff and why are they doing that stuff? They
Okay,
could
Joe.
probably be putting up some of that misinformation themselves.
Attaboy, Joe. How can anyone not like him?
People go, if aliens are real, why don't they just land on the White House lawn? Oh, well, when you go fishing, do you check in with the president of the lake?
Now, I hate to fact check already, but there is no president of the lake. There are fish and bugs and ducks and things, and there may even be a mayor of a nearby township.
See, now the way he puts shit immediately is way funny. Fish and bugs and ducks and
But
things.
no president. So this analogy is terrible, and
Well, this guy.
I don't know, guys. Look,
know, guys.
I've been trying to be positive about this thing, but there have already been several red flags that Joe's heart is not in this comedy thing anymore, and no.
No.
Sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay positive here, stay prepared to laugh.
Yes.
Continue.
I'm gonna stay prepared to laugh.
happened?
Holy shit, where have I seen that face before? Let me dig into the files here. I think I know. Oh my god, it's
Joey's hands.
him.
I think
Brother, hey, you cocksucker.
aliens look at us the same way we look at Waffle House fights.
Now, we all know Joe has never been inside a Waffle House, so how does he know about Waffle House fights? From social media, of course. Joe is a rabid user
That's not fair. I know he's going for the joke there, but Joe was a working comic, like before he got rich.
of social media.
That's not fair. That's
Especially
not fair.
Twitter. And despite being a detached millionaire who mostly hangs out with the retired Navy SEAL security guards he keeps
Now.
around him at all times, there are many, many accounts Joe follows that allow him to keep his finger on the pulse of the, quote, real world, like these ones. I call this genre of account Poverty Safari. There are many of them that let you vicariously explore things like the hoods of Detroit or the homeless camps of LA. The problem with Joe is that this is all he looks at, all the time, and he has constructed inside his mind a very distorted model of the world around him, which he never actually sees in real life. It's a lot like Plato's cave. If you've got a triple-digit IQ, you already know what that's about. But if not, Plato's cave is an allegory, look it up, for the way
Look it up.
our brains interpret data from our senses and construct a model of reality that informs the way we think, feel, and behave. In the story, it's explained that we all resemble captives who are chained deep within a cavern and who do not yet realize that there is more to reality than the shadows they see against the wall. So Joe's social media feed is his cave, and the first evidence of that is seen here with this Waffle House remark. Okay, now before we look at this next clip, I just want to prepare you.
No, he wasn't broke till Fear Factor. He had money when he got Fear Factor.
You may be confused,
He was already on news radio at that point. He was making a decent living as a comic too.
but don't worry. President Joe Biden is not suddenly collaborating with Rogan on this special.
I mean, like, you could call it like a LA apartment living.
This is actually an impression that Joe has been working on for 5 or 6 years, and he's finally ready to unveil it. Joe isn't known for doing good impressions, so this is very brave to try and do live here. Let's be nice.
I got hairy legs. My uncle got eaten by a cannibal.
Incredible. See, guys, 6 years.
Come on, man.
6 years.
Come on, man.
6 years. Well, with a few of his regular subjects out of the way,
I don't think so, Jack.
Joe veers into a topic that's going to
Hey, I'm gonna go get some ice cream. And by the way,
permeate a lot of this special. Ass play. I don't want to sound like a broken record, as we've spoken before about Carl Jung and the shadow self, so just to make it quick. We all have an inner shadow self inside our psyches that contains all the hidden aspects of our personalities. The self's emotional blind spot. The part of you that your ego does not want to acknowledge. All the things we do not wish to be. But to become a fully actualized person, those aspects need to be assimilated somehow. And if not assimilated, the repressed shadow will find all sorts of ways to leak out subconsciously. And as you'll see in this bit, whether he wants to do this or not, Joe's obsession with ass play gets put front and center. So here we're about to see some clear shadow leakage as Joe graphically describes the unbridled pleasure of anal probing.
Imagine if you have your greatest orgasm ever on an operating table on a spaceship. Oh, Jesus! Make him just jizz all over himself. Just, oh, Jesus! Oh, God!
Greatest orgasm ever, he says. Well, that may be so, but Joe, you don't need to wrap that admission up
phrasing
inside a story about aliens. It's not a surprise, guys, if you've been studying Joe Rogan as long as I have. You'll remember the time he publicly opined on how great it would be to become a woman and get fucked by some guy.
I know you well enough to know. You, Joe Rogan, if there was a technology that could instantly turn you into a woman,
Yeah.
you wouldn't hesitate to turn into
I'd like
a
to
woman.
feel a dick inside me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Me
As a woman?
Yeah, and
I don't think it made me gay. What happens is you become a woman who actually feels the way a woman feels when she's attracted to a
Signed.
man. And a guy with a dick like a battering ram
Let me try
is
it.
just going to send it home.
See what happens.
And you can't wait. You want to feel him come inside your upper rib cavity. Like,
Want to feel it. Sign me up. The point is, like, you would do
some
it.
men, the weakest among us, would be scared of that experience.
Right. Well,
They'd be scared that that experience
This is actually him drunk.
weakens them and turns them into something that they dismiss.
I would like to feel what it's like to be pregnant. Really? Yeah. I wonder if amyl nitrate does that. Like, that's the reason why
That's some graphic description. Holy moly.
gay guys like poppers. It's
'Cause it
because it
opens them up?
relaxes your asshole muscles.
Is that true? Or
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of. It's like a feeling of euphoria and also relaxing your asshole muscles.
Or how he enjoys engaging in oral sex with a penis from time to time.
Yeah, I can suck my own dick if I wanted to.
No, you
cannot.
cannot. You can't. No, you that far.
You know I can.
Okay, that's just some context for you as we examine this next sequence.
That's how they get cum out of donkeys.
Oof. Okay. Unfortunately, now it sounds like the crowd's initial excitement and enthusiasm is running on fumes, as we've got our first real obvious awkward bomb of the night. The crowd goes completely silent, and Joe just stands there like a deer in headlights.
Guys, all right, so just an aside, I actually kind of feel for him here. I can't help it. I don't care who the comic is. That silence, that is,
But Joe manages to salvage
someone
it
might as well have just told him that, like, if his mom was dead, like, your mom's dead, bud.
by stooping to the lowest form of conversation. Remember when?
I used to host Fear Factor. And
He has spent a lot of time thinking about these things. Yeah, yes, he has. Yes.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And now, I don't
I
know
was expecting him to say some casual, oh yeah, I wonder how women experience it. I think it'd be interesting, like most dudes who say that, but no, he went full on with that description.
this is from excitement and arousal, or from nervousness and
What, the jism in the rib cage?
fear, likely some combination of both.
Buckets of cum.
But this is the moment Joe starts profusely sweating through the mustard blouse. Perhaps it's nerves from some subconscious realization that his shadow is about to take the wheel and squirt out a major leak here.
You knew you were doing this. Why would you
Pay attention to this region here and watch how it develops throughout the show. And by the way, oh man, look at that stool behind him just teasing us back there.
Yeah, late night.
Stop teasing us, Joe. He knows how to build suspense,
Having
that's
fun,
for
though.
sure.
What up, Sean?
Ah, man, we are only 5 minutes into this thing, and I am just dying for some stool work.
Yep.
We'll have to settle for some
stool
ass work for now, I guess.
You take a cattle prod and you stick it up the donkey's ass and you shock his prostate, and they just bust. And then I was like, what does that feel like? What if it's your favorite thing? Like,
There's that leakage.
You can't even tell anybody.
It's too bad for Joe. He's too old and his brain is far too calcified to become a new guy in this aspect of his life. It's too
the fuck did I just hear?
deeply rooted. But someone should tell Joe that it's okay to just enjoy that stuff. It's no big deal anymore, Joe. Ass play has gone mainstream. Don't worry about it.
Should we keep hammering? Should we keep hammering? Keep hammering? What's that?
But instead he settles for keeping it a secret while releasing a little shadow pressure by revealing his deepest desires live on Netflix for millions of people under the guise of donkeys and aliens. It works for now, but it's not a viable long-term strategy. Now, and I can't believe this, but he's going to bail on his set, and we know he's bailing because Joe has said for years that once he's done a joke on a special, he retires it and never does it again. So here he's really starting to bomb, and is so terrified that he's going to break his own code and fall back into some tried and true material. He is going to Mencia himself here and regurgitate a bit from his 2009 special, Talking Monkeys in Space.
And I'm
You think he's getting in denial? A little bit.
watching porn on the computer. My girlfriend just opens up the door. You did it while I'm at home. She was really sad about that. And I didn't have the heart to tell her, I do it while you're sleeping right next to me. She goes, I can't believe you did it while I'm at home. And I'm like, I do it while you're sleeping right next to me.
Oh man, that's a finely aged 15-year-old classic bit. I'm a little surprised that Rogan broke his code here, but our behavior can change dramatically when faced with an existential crisis like bombing this bad. For example, when people are in the midst of drowning, someone jumps in to save them, the drowner often ends up inadvertently and tragically murdering their rescuer amid the struggle to save themselves. You do what you gotta do, and I guess when you bomb hard enough, you do what you gotta do to survive too. But unfortunately, that can often be self-defeating.
Here's the thing about jerking off. Everybody does it, but if you get caught, you're a fucking loser.
Uh-oh, this actually sounds like a cope. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I grew up without an uncle, and that has gifted me with the ability to detect copes. And this has to be a cope. This.
What? I grew up without an uncle that gave me the ability to not detect copes.
Is way too personal.
You're a fucking loser.
And by the way, not to nitpick, but have you noticed that this is Joe's new default face? Does this look like the face of somebody who's enjoying what they're doing? To me, this face confirms that his heart is not in this anymore, and I just don't get it. Like, why is he still trying to do stand-up? What's the point?
I can't keep doing
Just do your
this.
podcast.
And man, the sweat stain is evolving rapidly. He's very nervous, and judging by the way he can't stop screaming, he's likely hopped up on stimulants and booze. Joe forgot to mention that also during COVID, he became a bloated alcoholic.
Is somehow or another better than jokes.
Oh, god damn it, I'm sorry, I gotta stay positive. Joe, you're doing great.
Is it a...
Joe then goes into a little story about going through airport security high on mushrooms and how wacky that was before swiftly pivoting right into his other passion, the trans.
Men get pregnant. I'm willing to say pregnant men. I just don't think it's a good... I think you need
Look at him.
extra words. Maybe we should use extra words.
Oh no, there's that silence again. Hearing more and more of that as the audience grows weary.
Trans women are women. How about most? How about almost all? You gotta leave room for crazy.
Based on the audience, but also I'm very uncomfortable with, like, dude, they could have done this in post and they either Rogan or his production team was just like, nah, it's all right.
Just jokes, folks.
You know, when they put this line in the trailer for this thing, I thought he must have said something truly edgy, but now I'm seeing it as actually a massive cope, uttered during a major bombing.
Just jokes, folks. No one's getting hurt.
Notice that sniff there? That is one of Joe's tells. He does it on the podcast all the time. It's a nervous tick that comes out when he feels awkward about something embarrassing he just said. We all have our tells and ticks, guys. Mine used to be that I'd look to the side. But I got over it and am back on the straight and narrow.
You disrespectful motherfucker.
Oh, wait. Oh my god. Yes, he's approaching the stool.
Oh my god, he's approaching
Here we
the
go,
stool.
yes. Now's his chance to win him back. No, Damn it, just another tease. And by the way, why didn't Joe film this in his comedy spaceship? That's too bad. I'm surprised he wouldn't want to give the place some easy advertising. Joe is normally very prolific with his advertising work, often able to squeeze several dozen ads into one podcast episode.
I opened up a comedy club in Austin, Texas.
I knew it. There's the ad. But did you catch the sniff?
Thank you very much.
Guess he's a little ashamed to be doing this, but Joe is the king of
Actually, I need to watch the new Nosferatu.
slipping ads in everywhere, sometimes without you even noticing. And here he goes shamelessly promoting his club, disguising it as a joke.
I opened up a comedy club in Austin, Texas a year and a half ago.
This is a comedy pop-up ad. It's spam. It wasn't necessary, just a real-life pop-up ad.
Suddenly, every man in a dress is stunning and brave.
Okay, great. I was worried he wasn't going to get back to the trans. Oh, the trans.
You can walk through the women's locker room with a hard cock, and anybody who complains is a Nazi.
Seriously, though, these aren't really jokes. This is all just his regular podcast banter he's been doing for the past 5 years, just yelled on a stage in front of an audience. And the bombs are piling up, that sweat stain is growing, and it is a sad thing. I'm sorry, guys, I tried to be positive, but there is such a thing as toxic positivity.
Sorry, guys, tried to be positive.
And I gotta say, this special is terrible and beyond salvaging, possibly career-ending.
You can't just put lipstick on, now you can shit in the women's room. Like, oh my God, all of a sudden it's a hate rally.
Yeah, actually, kinda is. Doesn't help that this guy looks exactly like Mussolini.
I'm not prejudiced. I think it's China. I think they got us with TikTok. Craziest thing is they make our phones. That's supposed to be our enemy, and they make our phones. Do you know how dumb that is? I just want to say, honestly, I admire what they've done.
A lot of people miss this, but the Joe Rogan Spotify deal was in part financed by the Chinese Communist Party. Spotify is owned in part by Tencent, whose CEO, Pony Ma, has openly vowed to uphold the goals and desires of the CCP. So it's odd that Joe would complain about this TikTok China stuff because he is most likely, whether he realizes it or not, a weapon of propaganda used by the Chinese government to sow chaos in America. All you gotta do is follow the money. That's the one good thing I learned from Joe's podcast. And now something starts to happen that, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Joe actually goes full Brendan Schaub with this wonderful Chinese voice he does here.
Oh, look, there's Harry!
Mr. Schaub, after you numb your lip, you need many, many stitches. This be worse pain in your life.
With all his big criticisms about our infrastructure!
Well, that is rough, but at least he's not straight up copying Brendan's jokes, right?
My life would be so much easier if I was just gay as shit.
I wish I was gay. It looks way easier.
We'd like play video games all day. We'd work out. At night, we'd fuck each other.
You're hanging out with only guys? No one can get pregnant?
That is a low that is so low where I never expected Joe to go. Stealing from Brendan Schaub. My God, if that is not the death knell of a comedy career, then I don't know what is. Brendan Schaub quit comedy after releasing that special, and it only stands to reason that if Joe is stealing from it, then he ought to do the same. Ugh, he just won't stop screaming.
Sports.
This joke doesn't need to be yelled. If everything is yelled, then you can't emphasize anything. So this whole thing just kind of becomes white noise. It all just flows and blends together meaninglessly. It's stimulating but meaningless, which is basically what his podcast is, a screensaver for the brains of failed warehouse forklift operators, sat at home chewing on oxys and collecting Pogie. All right, what else did Danny Benito say here?
That was dead on.
You're getting your vaccine advice from me.
Oh, great.
Is that really my fault?
Next, he goes into his routine of, I'm just a shithead comedian, don't take me seriously.
I'm a professional shit talker, okay? Don't take my advice.
This special is just PR now, this is not comedy. He knows nobody normal listens to his show anymore, so he can't reach them on his podcast. But normies watch Netflix, and a lot of them are going to be checking out what that guy whose podcast they can't believe they used to listen to, and have to try and remember to whom they admitted listening to it, and cringe with pure embarrassment about that. They want to see what that guy's up to. So this is Joe's chance to get some good damage control in.
They tried to use that quote as proof that I'm homophobic. First of all, it's not true, but if
he's literally just reenacting one of his many Instagram apology soliloquies, and it is just so fucking tedious to listen to. He gets into his famous N-word controversy, and sorry to say, he's still doing that propaganda where he tries to convince everyone that he only said it when quoting other people saying it. which obviously is a lie.
Dude, this was like one of his first episodes.
A clip from the first ever Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh no, it was the first
one.
Once I get the internet to do it, I'll make it HD so you can see how ugly I am. Like, that nigga's ugly. That nigga's ugly.
They forgot to delete that one during Spotify's extensive Operation N-word cleanup.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about context. So, I'm not racist, but if I was gonna quote...
Oh, Joe, you should have just let this one go. This PR is embarrassing.
I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about this.
I thought everybody would understand. Here's the thing about these words. You can't say...
Damn, the nervous sweats are really going.
Damn.
The fact that he didn't re-record this special is insane.
6 years of honing this material.
That's right. It was live on Netflix. He chose a mustard shirt.
He's got to pad the back half of the special with PR. Oh, that's bad. But he still doesn't stray too far from the gay stuff, as that shadow continues to seep out.
I love gay men.
Joe's shadow is now in total control and is just leaking all over the place. And now, with the shadow in control here, he's going to steal another joke, this time from Bill Burr.
This thought when you're in your car and the light turns green, but the scooters keep coming, and you just want to go to jail.
I have a lot of fucked up thoughts, man. I do. You ever drive down the street and see like 30 people up on a sidewalk, and you just think...
That and right there, that's why he's even better. The punchline so much better.
Now that's at least 2 stolen jokes in this special, so that's bad. And this is the guy who got famous for calling out Carlos Mencia for stealing jokes.
If someone steals a riff from a song, that shit's in the news
I have to say, that's what actually got me like really to be a fan of him.
constantly. Motherfuckers steal shit and make it on HBO,
Netflix.
put it on television.
Not only did he steal material from Brendan Schaub, but he really just became the new Mencia tonight. I can't believe it. Talk about full circle. The shit hero's journey. So who is going to step up and be the new Joe Rogan to the new...
Jeez, Ari's so young now.
Carlos Mencia. I nominate Joe List. Come on, Joe, stand up for comedy. Go after Joe Rogan aggressively, please.
I send my wife pictures of other dudes' dicks.
This is a... Please, Joe, please, we don't need to know this. And as his deepest secrets are spilling out against his will, Joe is fully lactating now, leaking both psychically and physically.
San Antonio, I love you to death. Thank you very much.
And now it's all over. It's finally done. 6 years. And they really dipped into the budget for this closing credits music, which sounds like it's ripped straight from the Ken Griffey Jr. game for Super Nintendo. Well, I guess if I had one sentence
oh my God,
that could sum this thing up, it'd be...
I hate dumb people that are confident, you know? Oh,
Try again?
I hate dumb people that are wrong and confident.
And now that that's done, every comic on every podcast is going to spend the next 6 months raving about how Joe murdered and killed and massacred and chopped up all the bodies into little tiny chunks, threw them in the Austin River, whatever that's called.
Laugh out loud. Yeah. Dude, I like it because him saying the N-word, so funny. So funny. It said the N-word? Oh, it's so good. It was so good, man. That's good. That's good. It's so good. Yeah. And then he was talking about the word retard.
They'll kiss the ring for that podcast invite, and the cycle of comedy shit will go on and on and on. But
that's two jokes that I had to suck my teeth on because I don't do that. I don't usually do that, but
like we've discussed here before, everything has its cycle. Joe has completely run out of ideas, and his mind is ruined by social media. It can happen. It can. Joe has never been very good at comedy, but somehow he gets to be the #1 guy, the big gatekeeper. He's our era's Johnny Carson, and getting the invite to Joe's podcast is the new bringing you over to the couch or whatever. This special will go down as Joe's last. He's like 60 or 70 years old, and it's clear that his heart isn't in it anymore. This thing was just a greatest hits montage of the worst era of this guy's podcast, condensed into an hour.
Did you just assume my gender?
Every great has their final moments, and sometimes we don't even realize it's a final moment until it's already passed us by. Wayne Gretzky had his final goal, his final shift. Michael Jordan, his final dunk.
There he is, whacking the back door.
Elvis, his final song. The last time you ever pick up your son, your final summer sunset, and Joe Rogan, his final stool hump. Gotta go back to 2016. We didn't even realize it at the time, but we were witnessing Joe's final stool fucking. Gotta appreciate every moment like it's the last, guys. He didn't mount that thing once during this special. So disappointing. You gotta play the hits, Joe, come on. And now he's this sad Charles Foster Kane figure. All the money in the world and never satisfied. All his decent friends scared away. The only friends he has left just kiss his ass and tell him he's amazing. That's the only explanation for him thinking this was his greatest set of all time leading up to this live stream. No real friend would allow Joe to gringo poppy himself. Now this Netflix thing is getting panned by just about everyone. And despite Joe insisting that he doesn't read comments, it's obvious that he does. And the feedback from this thing is going to wound him deeply. And the weird thing is, he didn't even need to do this. He's got more money than he knows what to do with. He just did this because he still wants people to think he's funny. This guy literally cries when he talks about becoming a stand-up and getting passed at the Comedy Store. He wants to be a comic so bad, and he's just getting torn apart out there.
Who knows what kind of bullshit act I would have had if I didn't run into Mitzi, if I didn't get passed at the store. One of the reasons why she passed me is this, a trick that we all used to do. I learned from the Todd. He would sit in the back of the room, and he was sat next to Mitzi when Mitzi watched me, and he would laugh hard. I went up there and I did my set, and he laughed really hard. Mitzi just grabbed my arm. She goes, "You're really funny."
Wow.
Call in for spots. You're paid regular.
Wow.
That was more important to me than any TV show. Like, the TV show was just a lot of money. It was I couldn't sleep that night. It was like, I'm a paid regular. Like, I'm a real comedian. I'm a real comedian. Real comedian. I'm at the store. I'm a real comedian. I'm at the Comedy Store. Dude, I always knew I was going there. It was a religious calling. And the Comedy Store was terrible. And there was all these people that she passed that were like, I'm telling you, talentless.
Go work Zany's Pheasant Run a few years ago and tell me how terrible it was.
January 6th, lock them up, lock them all up.
The sad thing is, despite it being the meaning of life or whatever,
I don't
Joe's
think
legacy
he's ever worked a full-on bachelorette party.
will not be his comedy. He will be remembered as the stool humper who won the entertainment industry lottery, then voluntarily let the world collectively watch him go insane on the internet over the course of thousands of hours of podcasting. A cautionary tale of money chasing, Dunning-Kruger, and unreconciled childhood trauma. And now Joe's really painted himself into a corner with this new Guy Texas project of his, and even his new audience has started to turn on him. Now he's truly up a creek, waist deep in the big muddy, because he made the mistake of expressing a political opinion on his podcast, an alleged holy citadel of free speech. Those new fans of his say he endorsed the wrong guy for president, and they are pissed. Joe's dusted off and wheeled out his apology podium once again, but it's too late. And now Trump is using his sorcery to turn his guys against Joe, even encouraging UFC fans to start booing him at the next event. Joe's in a bind, and it's a beautiful bind. If Trump loses, all these guys are going to blame Joe and actively despise him forever. And if Trump wins, well, he has vowed to seek vengeance on all his critics in the media, which now includes Joe, who will only remain safe as long as his Navy SEAL pals stay loyal. Oh boy, that is bad. The world is leaving Joe behind. And just like Johnny Carson, I expect Joe will also become just a reclusive, depressed, rich guy, holed up in his own personal Alamo, surrounded by rock-hard retired Navy SEAL guys just snorting HGH and going on popper-fueled social media binges. Just like Johnny. And before I go, there was one joke I did enjoy.
The funniest way for me to die is if I die from COVID.
Okay, yes, it would. An honest bit, and that was actually a good joke. I enjoyed
bit.
that.
All right, cool.
But I do have to disagree. It would be much funnier if he was discovered dead and frozen solid inside his famous ice bath. Just frozen over with nothing but a bit of bald scalp and 2 rock-hard frozen nipples poking through the ice layer on top. Well, now that Joe's stand-up cycle is finally closed, he'll be sent off to be with the other former greats, who have come and gone in and out of our lives like clouds that wisp together in the summer sky, where they are formed into ephemeral shapes, then blown away. And so we all too will blow away. So enjoy it while it lasts, guys. We'll all be gone soon, thank God. Appreciate each moment like it's your last, as it could be. Thanks for everything, Joe. Thank you for your service. You fought long and hard, very hard. But now it's time to burn the boats. Please stay in your castle and never do comedy again, please. Burn down this shitty Joe Rogan sphere of influence and finally allow the comedy ecosystem to regrow from its ashes. The only thing good that could come out of this special is that it hopefully destroys Joe's comedy ambitions completely, and he finally retires. But I do believe him when he says that this was the hardest he's ever worked at anything. This is the guy who couldn't handle more than 2 weeks of working in construction, the only real job he's ever had, and whose idea of hardship is spending 30 minutes in a sauna. Something regular people do to relax. I give this thing a 1 out of 5. Thanks. And sorry.
Thanks and sorry.
Go.
Dude. All right. Well, that was, again, one of the first videos that I had covered, and I'm glad that I got to share that with you guys, because honestly, it got better the second time because that new edit. Yeah. I can already tell you that there were a few places where they definitely cut some stuff, so if you guys want to check out the original video, I do still have that. It's on my it's on the main page in the very first page, so want to check that one out. So I appreciate you guys checking out that segment. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out in the algorithm. And also, check out my live streams weekdays from Monday through Friday and special Saturday streams. I really appreciate you guys checking out the content, and I'll see you in the next one.